I love making videos that showcase the beautiful and feel-good side of credit cards. That's because it feels great, it gets the emotions running, and it's also a little bit inspiring. And all of that is great, but we also need to talk about the things that are not so great, and maybe this will help to ease some of the pressure off of some of you who are watching these videos and feel like you need to match the velocity of some of your favorite credit card content creators or get the exact same credit cards that we have. I know this because I have even felt the pressure myself. So in this video, I may be pretty brutal, but that's sometimes necessary to give practical tips that can save you from screwing up your The first thing you need to know about the credit card game is to act your age. Now, I'm not talking about your age based upon your birth date, but your age based upon your credit history. If you're new to credit, then you shouldn't really be looking to open up an Amex Platinum card or the Chase Sapphire Reserve because both of those credit cards come with a pretty hefty annual fee, with the Amex Platinum at $695 and the Sapphire Reserve at $550. Now, to be honest, if you're new to credit, not just credit cards, but credit on the whole, then you most likely won't even be approved for any of these credit cards, so that may not be a huge deal. But if you are somehow approved, you're immediately going to have a charge to your credit card that's several $100s. And it's pretty common for those who are at the beginning stage to not be willing to shell out that amount of cash immediately, especially if you're young. And especially if you're working an entry-level job that doesn't necessarily pay very well. So really pay attention to and think about that first credit card that you are applying for. And just to give you an example, I had someone comment on one of my videos letting me know that they opened the Amex Gold card, I believe, as their first credit card. And they didn't realize that the card didn't report credit utilization to the credit bureaus, so they're paying an annual fee, which is now $325, and feel like the Amex Gold card was a mistake. Unfortunately for that person, if they built a really solid credit history with the Amex Gold card and keep it as their only card for a very long time, it's going to be a big deal when they're finally sick of paying that annual fee and want to cancel that card, because you really want to avoid canceling your first credit card, which is why you should apply for a no annual fee credit card as your first credit card. Their next best option would be to downgrade to the Amex Green card that still comes with a sizable annual fee of $150. So don't make that mistake. Now, the Amex Gold card is a really good card for the right person, as it offers strong multipliers in the supermarket and dining categories. However, even with that, this particular person expressed regret because it wasn't the right time for them to apply for the Gold card. Go figure. Early on in the credit card game, your focus should be on developing good habits with using credit cards. Let's just say that somehow you slipped through the cracks and now you've been approved for that Amex Platinum or Chase Sapphire Reserve. And you know what? Let's just throw in the Capital One Venture X. In short, those pretty expensive credit cards. Then these tools that can be used to bring you a positive experience may just end up bringing you a negative experience at first, especially if you don't understand how to extract value from those expensive credit cards. Trying to understand how to extract value while trying to understand how to use a credit card responsibly in the first place may be a little too much too soon for a lot of people at that beginner level. This is why we see credit cards like the Chase Freedom Rise, Capital One Quicksilver, Capital One Platinum Secured Credit Card, and dare I say, I'll even throw in the Apple Card into this mix, because these credit cards are pretty straightforward and don't require you to understand the points ecosystem and transfer partners and redeeming points at a cent per point value that makes sense. See, if you're a beginner, you probably don't even have a clue of what I am talking about right now. But all of that said, all of those cards, with the exception of the Capital One Platinum Secured Credit Card, earn cash back. The Freedom Rise will deliver that cash back in the form of ultimate reward points, but they're easy to redeem as if they were cash. If you've had credit cards for several years and you've mastered the ability to be responsible with credit cards by not carrying a statement balance from month to month, and you built up a great credit score, if your only credit card is some sort of retail store credit card, or you still have that one first pretty good credit card that you've opened, then I'm sorry, you're probably not following the first tip that I gave you, which is to act your age, because there are a lot of credit cards out there that do not have an annual fee that can bring you a little bit of extra cash through obtaining the welcome offers that are available. Some examples include the Chase Freedom Unlimited, Freedom Flex, Capital One Saver One, Wells Fargo Active Cash, Citi Custom Cash, and the Citi Double Cash cards. Now, one of those Citi cards do not always offer a welcome offer year-round, and I'm not sure whether or not this has changed permanently, but both of those Citi cards are currently offering a welcome offer at the time of recording this video. So pay attention to that if you are considering opening one of those Citi credit cards. After building up your credit score, you typically will have access to a wide variety of credit cards issued by banks who are willing to entice you with an offer to onboard you as a customer or cardholder of that new card. Let that credit score and those excellent credit card management habits work for you and bring you extra value. How much value? How does getting a $2,700 per night hotel room for one free night free of charge sound to you? How does it sound to you? Or how does getting one of those first class airline seats that can easily cost around $10,000 round trip for credit card points and a few $100s in taxes and fees sound? Full disclosure, this won't happen all the time, but this is some of the potential value that you will be able to earn. And that's typically through earning points with credit cards that come with an annual fee. But anyway, that's not the point. Point is, you can get a whole lot of value if you do leverage your credit. Don't keep cards that don't fit your lifestyle if they have an annual fee. I really want to say don't get cards that don't fit your lifestyle, but I understand that there's a strong argument, and it's a valid one, that the welcome offer may be worth the sacrifice of getting a card that doesn't suit you. But what I'm really talking about, once again, are those luxury travel cards or those cards that come with an annual fee. But I'm going to pick on the Amex Platinum once again because I love the Amex Platinum. Did you know that the Amex Platinum card was created to attract people who travel at least 4 to 5 times, not per year, not semi-annually, but per month? Literally, take a look at the multipliers available on that card. 5x on flights booked either with Amex Travel or directly with the airline. 5x on prepaid hotels booked on the Amex Travel website. If you aren't flying or booking hotels regularly, then you know what's going to happen with that Platinum card of yours? It's just going to sit in your sock drawer and it's not going to get any use or barely get any use. You know what? I kind of take that back, because you're going to use the card because you'll find yourself trying to squeeze out every ounce of those available statement credits to effectively lower that hefty annual fee to justify holding this expensive card in the first place. Let's take a look at some of the statistics shared by USA Today. According to this article entitled Americans' Travel Habits and Behavior in 2024, Americans travel an average of 2.9 times per year. Millennials travel a little bit more with an average of 3.4 times per year. Now, keep those numbers in mind. According to the same article, the average traveler spends approximately $1,743 per trip. Now, of course, this includes everything such as food, ground transportation, airfare, hotels, activities while at the destination, etc. So, according to Value Penguin, lodging accounts for about 26% of the total travel expense for domestic travel and 21% for international travel. So, let's use the higher number. So if you're spending approximately $1,743 per trip, a good average would be approximately $450 for your hotel stay, and the average round-trip flight within the US is approximately $368. Of course, this can be more or less. So if you're traveling 2 times per year and lodging at a hotel and flying to your destination, you could potentially earn a total of 8,180 membership reward points per year on average for those eligible hotel and airline purchases. That's 4,500 points from the hotel multiplier and 3,608 points from the airline's multiplier. Now, let's compare that to the person who's traveling 4 times per month. And let's just assume the exact same numbers. In 1 month, that individual will earn double the amount of membership reward points that the 2 times per year traveler earned in a full year. So that will be a total of 16,360 membership reward points per months. Multiply that by 12 months and that individual will come just shy of 200,000 membership reward points, earning a total of 196,320 points for the entire year. I use these examples to show that the Amex Platinum is an absolutely powerful card for the right person. So if you're listening to anyone who's telling you how amazing the Amex Platinum card is and how much they really love the Amex Platinum card, ask them one question, and that question is, how often do you travel? And does that travel include lodging in hotels and taking flights? If that answer is around 2 or 3 times per year, maybe you should take their opinion with a grain of salt, because they aren't even the target audience for this particular card. And I can see the comments now, but what about lounge access? Amex Centurion lounges are awesome. That may be true. I cannot give an opinion on that because I have not been inside one of those lounges since I'm not a platinum card holder. But I want you to think about this question. Is it really worth it to pay $695 to have the ability to access the Centurion Lounge 2 times per year, 3 times per year, or even 4 times per year? I don't know the answer to that question. Only you can answer that question based upon the value you assign to Centurion Lounge access. But let me know in the comment section and let me know how many times per year you visit a Centurion Lounge if you are a platinum card holder. The second question I have is, and it's really applicable to those who say, yes, I only visit a Centurion Lounge maybe 5 times per year, but the experience, is it worth it? I want to ask you, is it worth the hassle to juggle all of those statement credits that are available on this card to be able to justify holding it to access the Centurion Lounge? If you want to include the Amex Concierge Service, the guaranteed late checkout when booking an FHR property, or any other benefit, let me know the value you love from the Amex Platinum, even though you aren't necessarily the target audience for this card. But I will say this, and this is my opinion, that's based upon my conversation with someone I know from American Express. A lot of people who have the Amex Platinum card really have no business getting that card because it doesn't fit their lifestyle and it wasn't created for them. So just be honest with yourself. If you travel twice per year, is it really a big deal if you don't have access to the Amex Platinum experience? I'm clearly passionate about this one. Maybe I need to make a full video on this topic if I haven't done so already, but I'm really curious. Let me know your thoughts below. Do not base your decisions solely on what's trending in the credit card YouTube space. Take it from me. Don't make excuses to follow trends in the credit card community just to apply for a new credit card. So instead of picking on a credit card issuer, I'll just use myself as an example. Now I know that with the just over 6,000 of you who subscribe to my channel, so thank you for subscribing. That is a huge milestone for me and I am extremely grateful for it. But what I was about to say, with the number of subscribers I have, I can be considered a little bit influential in the community, just a little bit. So I try to create videos that match my personality and my strategy. And it's sometimes hard to stay true to that because I can see video topics that work and are trending and I like to jump on those, but it doesn't necessarily fit with my personality or my strategy or theming of this channel. For example, one thing that I am proud of is that I have always been under 524. I've been close to 524, I believe 2 times, including right now since I'm currently at 424. But it has been important to me to never go over 524, and it has been especially hard this year with the release of some pretty new credit cards. So the excuse for me can be, hey, I am a credit card YouTuber in the credit card space, obviously. So it makes sense for me to get some of these brand new credit cards because I can get views, which means that I can potentially reach at least one new person who may decide to subscribe to the channel and watch videos in the future. And that can help to propel the growth of my channel, especially if I'm the first one to release a Watch Me Apply video and then an unboxing video of that credit card. I had to deal with that thought 3 times this year, once for the autograph journey, although that card was on my list of credit cards for the year. However, the transfer partners were lacking, so I passed on that opportunity for now. Then the Citi Strata Premier came out, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should get that card, especially since Citi did a botched job at promoting it. So it could be an opportunity, but I don't have any Citi credit cards on my roadmap this year, and I am currently not interested in the Citi Point ecosystem. Not that there's anything bad about it, but I'm currently in the Amex ecosystem, and I have yet to redeem any of my membership reward points. On top of that, my points redemption for Capital One isn't really worth counting since I simply use the travel portal. So I still have two ecosystems to explore. So for me, there's really no reason to add a third one. And then finally, the Wells Fargo Attune card came out, and I went through the exact same thought process. On another level, there's currently the whole Chase Ink Train thing that's going on. It is a great strategy, a fantastic one actually, but it doesn't line up with my monthly spend, so I stand by on the sidelines and let those who can deal with that and do a darn good job doing it too. This is another reason why I believe that the average person shouldn't keep too many credit cards open, and that's because of the overlap trap. And that's what I'm going to call this. So what does that mean? Eventually, as you keep opening new credit cards, you're going to have credit cards with multipliers that overlap with one another. For example, I have the Amex Gold card that gets me 4x points at restaurants. I also have the Chase Freedom Flex, Freedom Unlimited, and Sapphire Preferred credit cards, which all get me 3x points on restaurant purchases. But in my defense, the Freedom Flex and Freedom Unlimited both gain the restaurant multiplier after I open those credit cards. And I also have the Bilt MasterCard, which has a 3x multiplier on restaurant purchases as well. That's 5 credit cards so far with the same reward category, but I'm not done yet. I also get 2x points at restaurants with my Chase Ink Business Cash, 5x points with my no annual fee Hilton Honors credit card, and I also earn 2% cash back with my Amazon Business Prime credit card when used at restaurants. That's more than half of the credit cards in my wallet with the exact same reward category. And just to make this even a little bit more exciting, I also have overlap with the catch-all category as I get 2x miles with my Venture X, 1.5x points with the Freedom Unlimited, and 2x membership reward points with my Blue Business Plus. So what ends up happening is I typically use the cards that will bring me the most value in my opinion. And for the most part, I've left Amex on the back burner, which has come back to bite me because American Express has put me into pop-up jail, which means that they'll approve me for new credit cards, but they won't give me the welcome offer that comes with the credit card, simply because I guess they don't think I'm worth it. So having too many credit cards with overlapping categories means that some cards just won't get much usage, and some credit card issuers are more sensitive to that than others. So be aware of what you're doing and always reevaluate your credit card portfolio to weed out those cards that just shouldn't be in your wallet any longer. Now this is going to be the final point, and that is to be careful of the order in which you apply for credit cards. And that's simply because if you apply for too many credit cards or open too many credit cards, then you may be completely locked out from certain credit card issuers. And one that I know in particular is Capital One. A lot of credit card content creators want to get that beloved Capital One Venture X credit card, but they can't seem to get approved for it because Capital One thinks they have too many credit cards, so they can see that you must be a churner, so we're not going to really make too much money off of you. I am one of the lucky ones who was approved for the Capital One Venture X, but that's because I was really slow and really strategic with how I wanted to open up my credit cards. I believe the Capital One Venture X was my 6th personal credit card, but over a course of, I think, around 10 years before I finally got to that level of opening up a premium level travel card, it really isn't that big of a deal. But there are some people who got denied, I think, with like 9 open credit cards, but those credit cards came with a very fast velocity. So Capital One, I believe, can say, we can see what you're up to, so we're not going to give you this card. This card is valuable. We know you want it, but we're just not going to give it to you. So be careful of the order in which you open up credit cards. And if you open up too many credit cards too soon, maybe before you open up a whole bunch of them, you just may want to start with an issuer like Capital One if you do desire to get the Venture X. That way you have a little bit of history with Capital One. There you go for the Venture X. Then think about going to Chase because Chase has that silly 524 rule. If you open more than 5 credit cards or 5 or more credit cards within 24 months, you will automatically be denied for a new credit card from Chase. Now, some people bypass this rule, but others don't bypass this rule. Like I've seen Luke from Luke's Points and Miles, he's gotten by this rule. But then I know that credit card creators like Jake Mercure and Kelby Ng, they have both been denied. And I think Anthony Ventura has been denied before, but maybe he's having some luck now. I don't remember. There's too many people who get denied and then some people get approved. I can't even keep track. But with that said, guys, that is the end of this video. This has went on a little bit longer than I wanted it to, but I feel like this was a fun topic to discuss with you all. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts about that Amex Platinum card. If you aren't the targeted audience for it, or if you are the target audience for it, let me know how much value you're getting from that card. Anyway, I don't know which video I'm going to put here next, but if you want to hear more from me, watch this video here next. I'm pretty sure it's an awesome one. With that said, coming over, get your high five. Thank you for watching to the end.